Hello friends, James Stevenson back with another episode of Breakfast with Loki, plus Who's Hating Hard on Tesla today? You're going to get two different James Stevenson original series in one episode today. Let's check in with Loki. You can see that he is alert and ready to eat breakfast, so let's grab him his breakfast. Got it prepared right here. We'll just set this down. And then we'll move the Loki cam so we can see him a little better. Hold on. Haha, I moved my main camera because I've got entangled USB cables. Pardon the terrible camera work and the V8 energy drinks I'm using for additional height. Alright, so there we go. That's going to be a better Loki cam for a while. Right here next to my mouse. Goodness. Alright, so while Loki enjoys his breakfast, I will share with you who's hating hard on Tesla today. And the hater in question is... let me bring it up. Zeihan. So I don't know who this guy is, but a bunch of people who I know follow him, and I was tipped off to go investigate his tweet, this tweet in particular. So he was hating pretty hard on Tesla, saying, "I've never been enamored of Tesla. It's the most subsidized firm in U.S. history. Its products are environmental bombs. And legacy players are already making better/cheaper EVs. Wow. It's also traded as a tech firm, not an auto firm. Lots of room to fail." Ooh, Peter Zeihan, how do you get so much so wrong so quick? That's pretty amazing work. As Loki chases his kibbles all over the table. What are you doing, buddy? Just this little dog. He's a cutie, though. He is polishing off breakfast. All right, so let's take these points one by one. You've never been enamored of Tesla. All right, we don't care. It's the most subsidized firm in U.S. history. Well, that's... I would love to see a source for that. Can you provide any source saying that Tesla has been subsidized by the U.S. government more than, let's say, the oil subsidies collected by Chevron, Exxon, BP, etc.? Its products are environmental bombs. Well, hold on a minute. The products Tesla replaces are environmental bombs. Have you ever seen an auto junkyard before full of internal combustion engine vehicles at the end of their life? That's an environmental bomb. Everything about an electric vehicle can be recycled at the end of its life and used again to make new EVs. So oil cannot be recycled. Once you burn it, it's gone, and gone forever. Also, even electric vehicles that recharge from the grid get cleaner as time goes by. An internal combustion engine vehicle will never get any cleaner. It'll just keep burning dirtier the longer you own it and keep it running, right? So Loki was good. He ate all of his food, which entitles him to a treat, which I have prepared. Here's your treat, buddy. Yes, love you. All right, and I can move this back over where it belongs, on top of the V8s. That's how I get this height on here for the Loki cam. There he is. Okay. All right, now order is restored to where I have my cameras. And, okay, so I had to drop a reply on Peter Zeihan. I guess he's an author. I hadn't heard of him before. Let's scroll on down. So he's retweeting Barron's. Barron's published an article based on Dan Ives. Dan Ives, a pretty good analyst, had a high price target on Tesla for a long time. took it down recently over macro concerns and Twitter distraction fears that he outlined. So I said, oof, you're taking a beating in the comments, Peter, and he really is, from lots of people who know better than all the FUD he packed into that little tweet we just saw. The fossil fuel giants are the most subsidized firms in U.S. history, and it isn't close. Tesla's tiny subsidies aren't earmarks. They're available to anyone producing zero-emission vehicles, so you can't call it a handout or a favor or the government trying to prop up Tesla when all that's happening is the government puts incentives in place because they're better for the people who live in that country, right? Countries all around the world are doing this where they're like, hey, we should do something to help people transition the world off of internal combustion engine vehicles that will literally kill you if you leave them running with your garage door closed, and transition over to EVs that are zero-emission vehicles. That's good news for breathing. If we can transition everybody away from polluting vehicles to non-polluting vehicles, that's one of the things the government ought to be incentivizing, and they are, because it makes sense to do that. But they're not saying, hey, let's get some money together to prop up Tesla in particular, right? They're just saying, hey, we should, in most cases, it's a buyer subsidy. It's, hey, we should help consumers trying to decide between an EV and a traditional combustion engine vehicle by giving them, pardon me, by giving the consumer a tax rebate or something, right, that would make sense as a government incentive. And then that stuff gets called a government subsidy when the subsidy isn't actually going from the government to the company. It's going from the government to people who buy any EV, whether it's made by Tesla or not, right? Tesla just happens to be benefiting the most because they're making the most compelling electric vehicle. So more people are buying it. So that's why Tesla has more regulatory credit revenue than other companies, because Tesla is only making electric vehicles and most other companies are making a mix with very few electric vehicles, and some of those companies are not complying with laws requiring them to produce a minimum number of electric vehicles and sell them, which is why they need to buy surplus regulatory credits from Tesla. So hopefully that makes sense. And the way I have this zoomed in, you can't read these entire articles, just the top part of each of these screenshots that I put on here. If you want to pause it and read through it, that's some of the information from this article. Or I'll leave a link in the video description. You can chase this through to The Guardian and read all about it. But I'll give you just a quick feel for some of the comments that were left in the thread below. You can pause these and read through some of these comments if you would like. A lot of good points being made because so much FUD was packed into that original tweet up top. So that's my video for this week, and that's Who's Hating Hard on Tesla today. It was Peter Zeihan. And I will check back in with the Loki's bed cam and see a satiated and happy Loki resting in bed and digesting his breakfast. And I will outro and say if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button. Don't forget to boop that like button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. My subscriber growth has slowed down a lot lately, so subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the notification bell to get alerted when I post fresh content. And a special thank you to not only all of my supporters on Patreon and on YouTube who have joined my channel, I appreciate all of you, but in particular Kathy Kitchler and Halter Ferguson Financial, who supported my channel by joining at the top support tier as executive producers. And I will see you in the next one.